been messing around with my Ruger SP101 a little bit, and just trying to figure it out. I've been shooting this one actually a little more because it's starting to get a little cold now, and I like to carry this, so I've been messing around with it, watching some videos, learning a little bit about it. So what I wanted to do was make a video on the complete disassembly of the Ruger SP101, and I've been, I've done it a few times now, so I'm getting pretty good at it. It seems difficult, but it's actually, once you do it a few times, it's not that bad. So this is pretty much just going to be a complete disassembly video of the Ruger SP101. Again, this is the 357 model, which I've seen the new 22 that just came out. It looks cool. I haven't seen it. The prices that I've seen it for so far have been around like, I think one place I seen that like $570. One place I saw it like $620. I just don't feel like spending that right now. I got some other things in mind that same amount of money would probably get me. So alright, so what I did was I just took off the grip, and the first thing we're going to do is take out the mainspring. And for that, you just need a little pin. If you got the pin that it came with when you purchase it, I'm just going to use a little Allen wrench that I got here. So pretty much, most people know, you do is you pull the trigger back, and on the mainspring housing, you're going to see a little hole come out of that. You just stick it in there and pull out your mainspring housing. After that, what I can do is, now we'll take out, and I'm not good with the names, I don't really know all the names of this, but this is like a housing pin, and you can either pop it out there, you can push it a little bit, and then just pull it out. So first we took out the mainspring housing, now we're going to take out the trigger. And what you do is you just want to pull on it a little. It's in there between the trigger and the little mechanism in there, so if you just pull the trigger a little, it comes right out. And you got your hammer, your little double action pin right there. The next thing to take out is the trigger assembly, and for that we are going to need a tool. So far what works best for me is a Glock tool. So in the back of your Ruger you have this little hole here that goes to this, I guess you want to call it like a little spring assembly in there, plunger, and you're going to hold it and just stick it in. Sometimes on new SP101s this thing is real thick but real strong, so all you're doing here is you're pushing this in. If I had a vise it would be a little easier, but you push it in and then you're just going to pop it down. See, so I pushed it in, popped it down, and the entire trigger assembly comes out. Once you pull that off, then you have the cylinder and the cylinder crane. So pretty much, now this is the most that people will tear this down. There's really no other reason unless you're changing springs or you're, I don't know, doing a changing parts or something. Out of here you can take the cylinder release off. There's a little screw there. I don't know if you guys can see it. I don't have a screwdriver that's small enough to get in there, so I can't take that out. I'm not sure how to take out the firing pin. That's probably something I need to learn, but it's right there. It's probably pretty simple. It looks like there's a little hole. You probably turn that. I'm gonna look into that. If anybody knows how to take the trigger, the firing pin out, let me know, or do a video response. After that you have this little bad boy here, which is your trigger assembly. Alright guys, so now we're gonna work on the trigger assembly here. It looks a little more complex than it actually is. So first you have the trigger bar here, and the only thing that's holding it together is this little piece of metal here. So once you pull the trigger, it comes out. You don't want to pull the trigger completely, because then all the little springs will pop out. This piece will pop out here, and you'll see the way that it goes in is with this curve facing to the right if you're holding it like this. So you just squeeze it just a little, and you take out that transfer bar. The next piece that we have here to take out is we have this piece right here, and then we also have this piece here. Now both of these pieces, this and this, have springs and little rods at the end of them, and if you pull the trigger, that's what's going to pop out. Plungers, and that's what's going to pop out. So what we'll do here first is we'll just push it a little bit. Don't worry about that. And then I'm just going to put my hand just in case it comes flying out. But you see that right there. So we'll take this out. Okay. And then you can also take this bar out also. And then you see the way that that goes in. There's only one way that that can go back in. Alright. The next piece is this right here. This piece also, it has a spring and plunger in there. So what you want to do is pull the trigger all the way. Now this, the only way it's held on is just by a little pin there, and you just pull that out. Now that spring might come flying out. Yeah, there it is. So you have this piece. Again, there's only one way this piece could get in there, so you really can't mess that up. And then you have the second plunger. So here's the first one, and then here's the second one. And you see the difference is the length. So the longer one goes in the back. And let's hold the trigger like this. The longer one goes in the back, the shorter one comes out the front. Alright, so the next piece that we have to take out here is we have the trigger reset spring, and the way to get that out is that little pin right there. So I'm going to grab a punch here. I'm going to use a 1/16 punch. That's a little piece that comes out. And then now you can that little pin out. You see the little pin that comes out? Then this like plunger cap comes out. And you have your trigger reset spring. There's another plunger in there. You see now you have no tension in there. And there's another plunger in there which the trigger pushes back on, which is what drives it. So we'll pop that plunger out. The next piece we're gonna take out, let's see if we get it to focus, it's that piece right there. Now to take that out, all it is this little pin, and since we took out the trigger return pin spring, there's no pressure there, so you can just push that out. So what I'm gonna do is I'm not gonna push it all the way. I'm just gonna push it a little bit, and then you see you have this piece here. So now this piece can go in a bunch of different ways, and this is the correct way, I believe. So, and then you take that pin out, then you take out your trigger, and that's how you take out the completely disassembled trigger assembly. Let's go back to the other view. Alright, and then that's pretty much how you completely disassemble the Ruger SP101.